or this week if it's not already out. They're making pretty serious changes to a lot of the loot stuff in that
It
game.
seemed like they were making it easier for you to get better stuff.
Yes.
Without, having to, like the idea that people would go shoot in a cave for 6 hours to me just said like, hey, your loot system might be fucking broken.
Yeah.
And it's not about camping spawns. It's about people just getting garbage and, having nothing to show for it.
There were things about the loot system in that game that are borderline abusive.
Yeah.
Like I think a lot of people had a very like battered spouse relationship with the Cryptarch, the guy that identifies items for you. So the biggest change they're making here that people are excited about, we talked about it some, I think, last week when you weren't here, but the Ingrams, the unidentified items that you take to that guy and he turns them into real items. When you got a green one, it was almost always a green.
Yeah.
Blue one, like still 2/3 or more, 3/4 of the time is a blue. Was a blue. Purple ones, like only 1/3 of the time would give you a purple.
Right, yeah.
So like 2/3 of the time that you got a purple unidentified drop, it was something less than a purple. Or if it was a purple, you would sometimes get it for another class that you can use.
Right.
Like it was fucking maddening.
Yeah.
Horrible. So they're making it so that those purple unidentified items will always give a purple or better now. That's the biggest thing probably that people are going to be happy about. But they're also improving the drops that you get after like the dailies, the weeklies, all those missions that you do on a weekly basis, like the strikes, all that stuff. They're adding legendary drops to those things, and they're also making it so that better upgrade materials drop with those too. Yeah. Because upgrading the best weapons and armor in that game is arguably more of a grind than getting the gear.
I finally got to a point where I ran out of weapon parts.
Yeah. Really?
For upgrading. Like I have whatever my gun is right now, there's one last upgrade on it that is just a damage increase, and I only have like 7 weapon parts left, because I just haven't been getting weapon drops.
Yeah.
So I haven't been able to dust anything to get the parts and all that other shit. Like it's just, yeah.
Yeah. Like I'm not going to defend anything about it. Like the end game up to this point is what it is. Like it's kind of indefensible.
Yeah.
They're making some very obviously necessary changes, but also like when I say people in the loot cave are doing it wrong, it's not necessarily their fault, because like it's incredibly convoluted. There are different factions. There's rep. There are I think 8 different kinds of currencies. Like you have to like spend some time really figuring out how all that stuff works.
When they turned on that Queen event, and I was like, oh, okay, here's a new thing. Like I'm going to put it in and check it out. And it was just fucking bounties.
Well, so that was my exact reaction
like,
when it
are you
happened.
fucking kidding me?
So I, like an idiot, stayed up until the server reset happens at 2 a.m. Pacific every week. So last Monday night, I sat and played 6 nonstop straight hours and streamed it of Crucible to get the 100 weekly marks before the reset.
Yeah.
So and I cleared it with like 10 minutes to spare. I was like white knuckle. It was like, all right, if I don't win this match, I'm not going to get the 100.
Yeah.
So I was already up at 2 when the stuff happened and the Queen stuff rolled out. So I went to look at it and like, my first reaction was like, fuck you, more bounties that feed into yet another type of rep.
Right. Yeah. But the bounties were like, go play this early Earth mission and kill this guy.
Yeah. But
you can do like 4 minutes.
Right. But so it turns out they are way better than that. But they don't explain any of that stuff. Like that's the problem. Once again, like they're very reserved with the information that they give you. Like I only found out how this stuff worked through like Twitter and talking to people like Kessler who are deeper in than I am.
Yeah.
What it is you do those bounties, and every bounty you finish, which like you said takes like 5-10 minutes, gives you a token that you can use to go on one of her kill order missions. And when you do that, you get a guaranteed legendary drop at the end. And it's not even like a legendary Ingram; it is a literal drop. I got a purple chest piece and helmet in like 90 minutes. Like it's insane that you spend 2 straight weeks grinding trying to get this stuff, and then they roll out this event where
it trivializes
in 2 hours you can
of that stuff. Yeah.
It turns out that like her stuff is like a couple of points in light worse than the stuff you can buy or the random drops, but it's so good. Like it got me to level 25 in like no time.
Wow.
And that kind of reinvigorated my interest in the game enough that I'm back in now.
Well, maybe I'll put it back in and I can sucker you into going on some kill order mission with me or something. I don't know.
She's still got a sniper rifle on a ship that I need to get, so let's go. And I think that event goes till October 6th, so there's still some time to get that stuff.
I just don't know to what end. Like it's like I feel this compulsion of just like, well, like I'm endlessly fascinated by Destiny.
Yeah.
Because of how disappointing I find it. It's one of those things where it's like, the amount of money that went into it, the amount of time that went into it, and then this is what came out the other end. It's just like I keep coming back to it going like, there has to be something else, right? And every time I poke at it, every time they say, hey, we got something new, you go look at it and you're like, this is not actually new.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? Like, it's nuts.
Yeah. Like, I can't disagree with anything.
But I still find myself drawn to it for that reason. I'm just like, why? Sure. Like, the audacity.
Yeah.
It's just like, what?
I mean, on top of all the bullshit, though, I really like playing it. I just like feel the shooting and the movement and stuff.
Yeah, I do too. It's just, at this point, like, and also like reading in those patch notes where they're like, we're going to make auto rifles worse.
Yeah.
Like, well, fucking great.
That's a Crucible concession.
Oh,
I have had no luck with anything but an auto rifle in Crucible.
But, I'm not a gameplay balancer.
Yeah.
But I tend to subscribe to the theory of just like, if you got something that's overpowered, make everything else better.
Yeah, I'm with you on
the thing that Titanfall did that got me to stop playing Titanfall. Is they rebalanced the kind of default machine gun, the default auto rifle, to take like 1 to 2 more shots to drop a pilot. And the game felt broken for me from that day forward. And now all this DLC comes out, and I go like, oh, I should check out the new maps. And I play it, and then like go to shoot somebody, and that happens. I go, oh right, fuck this game. Oh my god, I can't even play this anymore.
Sure.
Because I spent so many hours playing it before they made the change that now when that happens, I feel like I've been robbed. And granted, they did the name of balance. It's probably a good thing, if they do the math on it or whatever. But the feeling I get from that game is way worse, borderline broken now when I go play Titanfall because of that change.
What if you could exploit the weekly strike and then just go buy a better exotic rifle?
Yeah, I guess.
That's Destiny.
Yeah, like I don't want
to. That's what I did. The fucking weekly vendor showed up for the 3rd week in a row and had the incredible exotic auto rifle that like nobody has, or now a bunch of people have it because they bought it.
Yeah.
But I was 9 strange coins short. Strange coins.
Damn those strange coins.
I needed 9 strange coins, and I found out that if you play the weekly heroic strike on the highest difficulty level, you get 9. But I'm nowhere near the level to do it.
Yeah.
But it turned out that last week's, or it's still in effect, well, not by the time you hear this, they'll have changed it, but last week's heroic strike had a boss exploit, where you could like kill the boss by sniping him from outside his room, where he couldn't hit you.
Nice.
So we went and did that.
Smart.
And I got my 9 strange coins. And I bought my exotic auto rifle.
You got strange.
Yep.
Got 9 pieces of strange. Good work.
And that thing is incredible.
Does it look and shoot just like every other auto rifle in the game?
No, it looks no. The exotic stuff in that game looks fucking crazy.
Huh.
You should go talk to Eric Tay down at GameSpot. He is deep into that game, and he's got all exotic stuff, or a lot of it. Like the Titan exotic helmet he has, like the top of the dome is like cracked, and there's like beams of light shooting out from inside. The rifle I got looks like a Mass Effect rifle. It's got like a big like plastic-looking shell on it. Looks exactly like a rifle from Mass Effect 1. Yeah, all the late game super high level gear actually looks cool in that game. It's got weird.
Smart of him to hide all the cool shit behind like 9,000 walls and hours and
30
hours.
or 50 hours of grinding.
Just assuming that people want to grind the same content again and again to see like a cool gun.
Again, not defending it. I just somehow can't seem to stop playing it.
It's super weird because I played a decent amount of it. Like I'm level 17 or 18. Got a couple missions left in the story or whatever. And like I feel like listening to you guys that you're describing a different game because you guys are talking about like, strange coins and stuff. I was like, what are you talking about? Like a weekly vendor?
Yeah, how many modes of light do you have?
Never heard of that at all. And again, I feel like I'm almost at the end of the story, and then it just sounds like you guys are playing a different game. I mean, that sounds less fun.
If you watch the ending and turn it off after the cutscene, you'll never see any of the stuff we're talking about.
I mean, I might poke a little bit just to kind of see, because I've heard so much about how to level up past 20 and how weird it is. I think I'll play just enough to kind of get a sense of that and then be like, all right, I got other stuff to play.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the combat is way more fun after you get to those high levels. So like, in terms of being satisfied by the game, I've got that defense for it. But then B, there's also the aspect of like, well, we're redoing strikes and running around doing patrol missions, and like suddenly Destiny is turning into a chat room where we're occasionally shooting some things.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I forget, it was me and Alexis and somebody the other day. So another thing is that it turns out that the random, like the public events, are the best way to get rare upgrade materials and also Vanguard marks. There's a map out there where somebody has plotted the exact spawn points of every public event on Earth.
So you just run and check.
There's a super efficient route you can run where you will hit every public event spawn. Like there's like 8 of them in an hour or something, and you can run around and get like your weekly entire like max of Vanguard marks in like 3 hours, and a bunch of upgrade materials along the way. So me and Alexis and whoever was there, we were just running around in a fire team, like half paying attention to the events we were doing because we knew where they all were, and just like chatting, like bullshitting about whatever, you know.
Yeah.
Like at a certain point, it's just a thing you do while you're like talking to your friends, and then you get some cool weapons every like 2 hours or something. Like it's fucking weird. I don't know why I like it so much because I've never cared about an MMO endgame before. Like when I got to the end game, I got to the level cap in WoW, I was like, I'm fucking done.
Yeah.
Like, no, I'm not attuning for shit. I'll see you guys later.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's just it's a good fun shooter, and that's what is keeping me playing it with a giant rancid carrot on a stick dangling in front of me.
Yeah.
I'll get back to you when I finish that raid.
Yep.
Here, everybody I know that's played it says it's by far the best content in the game.
Smart.
Again, great.
Yeah. Good idea.
I saw some guy hit a bug and took a bunch of screenshots where it seems like it filled in all the mission spawns for all the first 2 expansions missions, or a bunch of them anyway.
Yeah.
Seems like there's another raid or 2 in there.
Raid,
several strikes.
A reef.
Yeah, there's something out in the reef. There's actual level out there now. Beyond that, though, I don't know what that stuff's going to be. I'm dying to see what it is. I hope it's good for $20 a piece.
If it's like 5 story missions that are just like, I guess like on some level, like if you're already engaged in the like weeklies and dailies, just the idea of like it potentially being like 5 more things.
Totally. I guarantee, like I'll buy it. You know, a bunch of people I know will buy it. Even though if you look at it and say like, well, that's a third of the price of the full game, and like a tenth of the content or something like that, you know.
A tenth or like a third?
I don't know. I'm just throwing out numbers. Those proportions might be off, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah,
it's like, it might not be the best value proposition.
DLC rarely is.
Yeah, I guess that's true. We'll see. I'm dying to see what's in there and how they justify it, but I doubt I'll be able to resist. Steam got updated.
Yeah.
We want to talk about Steam curation.
Sure.
You can now become a Steam curator.
What is that?
You have a Steam curator page.
Basically, Steam groups now have the ability to recommend games.
Was that how the curator page is spawned?
Yes.
It's attached to a group.
Yes, you need to accept the invite to the group that I sent you.
Okay.
So you can recommend those
So that's where the other Giant Bomb curator page came from. That came from our community Steam group.
So I created the Giant Bomb staff. So that's the name of our page. I don't know if we're going to even engage in this long term, but if you're looking for a curator page to follow, it is Giant Bomb staff.
Yeah.
And we've gone in and recommended a handful of games that were reviewed well and quick looks of games we liked and stuff like that. I don't know.
I mean, Valve's basically crowdsourcing a way to clean up the discoverability of their incredibly messy store.
Yeah, that's sort of what's happening here.
Except that it seems so prone to like manipulation and influence.
Yeah,
like at a certain point,
we've already gotten multiple inquiries from different angles of people saying like, "Hey, would you please recommend our game?"
Yeah,
some Steam chat saying like, "Here's a key for our game. We would love you recommend it on your curator page." I'm like, what? Like, we're
gross. Yeah,
no.
But even like setting that stuff aside, it seems to me like there's a certain risk of the whole thing turning into a big echo chamber where like the more things get recommended, the more people who have other popular curator pages are to see those things and recommend them themselves. Like it almost seems like it's going to bury the smaller stuff more.
I think the other problem you potentially run into there is that the incentive for people to curate is that you are allowed to enter an external link. Okay. So for people running YouTube channels, they can for us, I put in links to our quick looks and reviews where I think Rory added some 5-star PC reviews that we had. And stuff like that. So, like the carrot for, content creators, if you will, is that theoretically you might get people seeing your stuff, which then creates the thing of like, well, if I recommend more stuff, then there's going to be more links to my stuff on this site,
Sure.
and maybe more people will click on. So it creates a situation where, like, are people going to recommend a game that they hate and actually just use the text field to say this game's terrible? Watch my video, and devalue the system that way.
Or do they even consider that a way to devalue it?
Right. Well, I mean, if you're out there recommending every single game out there, like, at what point does that start to skew the system? If all the top curators start doing that because they're all trying to do that, or if they decide to try to do that, I don't really know. I think it's one of those things that's probably less valuable for us because we have a whole website than for people that don't have a platform like that already. If it's people that are like Rami from Vlambeer started a list that I thought was kind of interesting. He doesn't necessarily. I mean, they've got. I'm sure Vlambeer has a site, but it's like sort of weird. So it's kind of cool that he created that.
Yeah. Here's somebody who makes games that you respect, so you can see what they're into.
Yeah, yeah, and a little description of why he feels that they're worth mentioning or whatever it is. But and you've got people with like YouTube channels that might not necessarily have a website or a place to put text about a game that can use it that way, and maybe there's some value in it for them. For us, I think it's a little more nebulous, just from a pure like what do we get out of it angle, which is maybe like a cynical way to look at it. But like it's only so much time in the day, and like we could be doing a lot of other stuff than entering Steam recommendations. But
indeed,
we're messing around with it to see. I don't know if people really care about it, and people are really excited to see us do that. Then we'll do it. But I just it's one of those things I just look at and be like let's experiment, fuck around with it, and see. But it's weird. It's a weird thing.
You know what's weirder?
What?
You can use Steam as your music player now.
That's been so I guess they rolled that out wide. Right?
Okay.
Like the Steam Music Beta has been going on forever. I got in on that a while ago and realized that I don't want to do that.
Yeah. Why?
It seems like it's for people who use big picture mode and want to listen to music.
Yeah, okay.
It's a music playback client for people that are using that. Whereas like
I guess
Is it for people who have audio files on their machine?
Yes.
It scans their library.
Yeah. I don't have the library anymore.
Well, you don't need this Steam music player.
It's
then.
not.
Yeah.
That was kind of the big stuff. I mean, there's some other recommendation stuff in this big Sora page.
Yeah, I mean they've redone the entire front page.
You can filter out games that you own already, and
I think overall like the design end of it's relatively nice.
it looks pretty nice. It's very blue.
Yeah, it's very blue. It's weird.
Steam got bluer a couple months ago, so it's not even the icon got blue.
Right.
So it's not a surprise.
Get blue.
Yep. And then finally, this is a sad piece of news, or is it? PlayStation Home is going away.
Yeah.
For real. Finally.
They announced the Japanese shutdown a while ago.
Yeah, so that was out there, and they didn't say anything about North America, but now March 31st of next year is the date.
End of the fiscal.
Oh, you're right. I didn't think about that. Huh. And then I guess...
God, you have so usefully put an upcoming slot.
I created a live stream in the CMS within minutes of seeing that date.
Okay, all right, yeah.
And it's in there. Too many other things in the upcoming right now to see it regularly. I took a bunch of them out so I could take screenshots and tweeted it. I mean, why not?
Yeah,
Why not jump into PlayStation Home on the last day and see what's going on?
Yeah, that's a great idea. Why wouldn't we do that?
I guess so the last piece of content will be published on the 12th of November, and then you can only download things until the 3rd of December. Weird. Which seems like a weird limitation if you've spent money on stuff already, but make sure you stay on top of it.
Yeah, I want my PlayStation Home to look pimped the fuck out.
Yeah.
Because I'm into cool shit.
Yep. You've got, clock's ticking.
Yeah.
Get your place ready.
Can you have raves in PlayStation Home?
I think PlayStation Home is nothing but a perpetual rave, period.
Yeah.
Good.
Like weird airplane races.
Because when I think PlayStation,
Yep.
I think raves.
I know what you're referring to, Drew. We put in the PlayStation Underground disc from 2000, and they had some hot video footage of the PlayStation Rave where they
Some of the
showing off
best.
the PlayStation 2 working out.
man.
Pretty good stuff.
Was that in Europe?
No.
I think it was
LA.
the Metreon.
Oh, yeah, it was. It was at the Metreon here in San Francisco.
Sony Metreon.
Saw some guys with cool lizard contact lenses.
Oh,
Awesome.
and was he wearing a top hat?
I think he was.
There were definitely glow sticks.
There were glow sticks, a lot of techno music.
Any pacifiers?
Didn't see that.
those,
No.
They
A
always
lot
stab.
of great dancing.
Was anyone hippie flipping?
I don't know what that is.
Okay.
I'm glad.
There's still time. You've only been here a few months.
Okay.
All right. Let us move on to the emails.
Emails.
Emails?
Yay. Well said. Bombcast at giantbomb.com.
Yeah.
Like on a 3 to 4 week streak here.
Not bad.
Bombcast at giantbomb.com. You know what to do with it. Ollie.
Shove it up your ass.
Yep.
What?
That's what I was getting at.
Yeah.
Ollie from Daily City knew what to do with it. Shout out Big DC. Ollie writes in and says, after buying a game at GameStop, the salesman told me that if you pre-order Call of Duty, you can get it a whole day before advertised launch day.
It's true.
Is this how retail stays relevant? What does it mean for digital sales if this becomes the standard?
Well, digital will also get access to it a day early.
Really?
So, yeah.
So that means it's not even a GameStop offer necessarily.
Yeah, no. Pre-orders get it the Monday.
So that's an Activision thing.
That is an Activision.
Oh,
thing.
wow.
Yeah. So pre-orders will get that game on the 3rd, I guess, instead of the 4th.
Okay.
I think that GameStop trying to stay relevant is less about stuff like that and more about like, hey, let's do stuff other than video games.
Yeah, it's like, hey, let's buy back iPads now.
Yeah. As someone who received a paycheck from GameStop for years and years, they're getting less and less game stores and more like we just get emails every week being like, oh, we're proud to,
Yeah.
They were opening a lot of stores and now they're opening more like Simply Mac stores.
Simply Mac.
and
Oh,
things like
sure.
that.
Yeah.
So it's
like
more
cell
of
phone
that.
stores and Mac stores stuff.
Yeah. I mean, they're doing fine, obviously, but it seems like the company is putting some major focus in like, these other things in case things go all digital at some point in the future.
Yeah, I mean, that must have been shit and bricks when, those details weren't announced about the console.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Yeah, it seems inevitable that everything goes more and more digital over time. It just would be nice if the digital pricing would keep up with the trends in retail.
That's definitely the fucked up part.
Like,
that was the thing that they were supposed to get right this time, and they very clearly have not.
They both pretty much fucked it up. It's like it's clear.
Well, they have to leave it up to publishers at some point. Like they set the prices, they can't force. They can't force Activision to lower the Titanfall price.
But you don't see
EA rather to lower the Titanfall.
You don't really see it with first party that much either, though.
No, you don't.
And they do have that option.
Yeah. But like that, the big driver of prices for that stuff is always going to be we need to clear the shelf space to get more stuff in, and digital never has that pressure. So you'd like to think that they would have taken care of this shit.
Right.
And it's too bad because whatever. It's not. I guess it's not too bad, but it actually serves their interests to get people used to the digital experience and buying that stuff because it eliminates used games. It does the thing that they all wanted to do. It eliminates used games.
Yeah.
And so it's weird that they haven't been better about it. I guess they just figure it'll take care of itself eventually. I have no idea.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah, you thought at a certain point they would like take some cues from Steam sales and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Even if not to that extreme.
I just wish that the digital experience was as good as Steam. I feel like download speeds on both those consoles suck shit compared to Steam. I get downloaded Forza, it was like 40 gigs. It was the sort of thing where it's like, oh, well, I guess I'll just set this down for a while.
Yeah.
It took I downloaded it a few times, I was traveling around a little bit and stuff, so I ended up downloading it over the weekend on like just a regular